here's the situation. You have a student who's displaying a behavior that is questionable at best, or worse at worst.
Ugh, you're the worst.
But you don't write them up because they said they wouldn't do it again, or you feel kind of bad, or you don't want to get them in trouble, or it didn't seem like that big of a deal. But then the behavior happens again. And this time, maybe it's a little bit worse. Maybe it's the same thing over and over and over again. So now you're writing home, you're calling home, or you're writing a student up, but the parent, guardian, or admin want to know, why is this the first time we're hearing about this? Then after you fumble through that awkward experience, the kid doesn't even get in trouble or nothing is done about their behavior because you fumbled the ball. I use more sports metaphors than any other non-real sports fan in the world. Anyway.
Yes, you do.
Or that kid gets in an overwhelming amount of trouble either at home or in school that seemingly comes out of nowhere. And then they're mad at you because you told. But today I want to talk about how to avoid all this stuff and how I handle write-ups. Let's go. It's important to note before I even get into this that, look, there are so many decisions that teachers have to make a day that it can be hard to make the right decision all the time. So this video is not about shaming anyone or making you feel bad about what you did, but just kind of like noting maybe what didn't work and then getting better at it the next time and then helping the next person that goes through the same thing. So write-up step one is, the first thing is really redefining what it means to write up a student or document behavior. I think that documenting behavior should be more about helping us to keep tabs on some things that have been happening so that all the teachers, administrators, and parents are on the same page with things. That way, if you see a write-up from someone else and then you see that same behavior is starting to be exhibited in your classroom, you're in the know. This wasn't a surprise and you're not wondering if it's happening in other people's classes. We're all staying together and working through this together to help this child find success. And in that vein, despite how your students are going to see this, this is not about ratting kids out. It's letting parents stay in the loop. At some point in education, and excuse my soapbox for a moment, we have cut parents largely out of education unless it's just there to cover our butts. Parents should be our allies. They should be our community members. They should be part of the process of what we're doing in school because who knows the kid better than their parent or guardian? Stepping down from the soapbox, getting back into my video. Excuse me, self. Real quick, I want to remind everyone in the middle of this video that on February 1st at 7 p.m. we are running the first session Guide to Classroom Management Workshop Series, where I'm going to run you through my brand new student relationship matrix and show you how you can help even your hardest students to find success in school and beyond. It's only $39. You can sign up below. Back to whatever he was talking about. Peace. And in these situations, there can be parent pushback, of course. One of the ways to lessen that is by saying what you're noticing, like and then being curious. I'm curious what has worked before. I know I say this a lot in videos, but it is really about entering into a conversation where parents aren't feeling less than. They're not feeling like a bad mom or a bad dad or a bad grandmom or a bad foster parent, right? You are acknowledging that this is tough. We're working with through this together. And I'm just curious if you had any ideas as to what we could do together to support your child. And if they don't have anything right then, just feeling for that awkward moment and letting them know, I know I didn't prep you for that question, so please reach out whenever you kind of think of something, or maybe talk to your child and come up with a plan together and let me know, but don't feel like you have to answer it right now. And that's actually one of the reasons I don't call home and I send emails instead, but I'll leave the link in the description below to the video on why I don't call home. Second thing on doing write-ups is I write up everything. I write up as much as I possibly can, because if I'm not out to get a kid, if I'm not writing it up because it was just bad behavior and I need to have you get a detention or some other useless way to spend your time.
I know it's detention, but I don't think I belong in here.
And what I'm doing is documenting behavior so we can ultimately help you, then why wouldn't I write up as much as I can? Another way we do this as a team, so if the 9th grade level team is working together, we have either a text chain or we use something like WhatsApp. If a kid is feeling down today, if someone is feeling especially energetic today, if you saw a student and heard a rumor that they broke up with their girlfriend or their boyfriend, this is like a thread of sometimes gossip, but it is stuff that keeps you in the know. I know that word gossip is going to throw some people off, but I love gossip. It lets me know what's happening in the school or what's potentially happening in the school, or it helps me to stop bad gossip. So if teachers are just sharing what they're hearing what they're seeing, what might be going on in the school, what they're witnessing happening in their classrooms. It lets the rest of us be prepared when that student comes in. You're not just having some kind of like sneak attack by some kids like ninja behavior. And the third way we deal with this is, look, if the issue persists and you're not finding success, you've called home, you've contacted the administration and done all the kind of things that you can do, it's important to set a meeting. And I'll tell you on the front end, I hate meetings. They're largely a waste of time, but sometimes they're really meaningful and really powerful. So setting a meeting up where you can have a parent or guardian come in or meet you virtually, that you're there with administrators, you're there with decision makers, and sometimes we will have a whole group of teachers on that meeting, and sometimes it's just one or two of us. Now, just like the calls home and just like the write-ups, meetings are never meant to blame, to shame. They are focused on helping a student find success. But if they can't get their basic needs met, if they can't handle being in school, if they are going through some sort of social emotional warfare, if they're getting picked on, they cannot do algebra. They don't care about the Civil War. They don't care how awesome your door decorating contest idea is. They're just not going to do it. So we're meeting together as an act of care for a child to help them to figure things out, get back to neutral so we can get back to work. In those meetings, we identify any issues, we allow the student to share their voice and empower them in that way, and then we come up with a plan of action. Is there going to be a weekly tracker? Is there a point person at school that the parent can contact regularly? What sort of after-school help or assistance is available to a student, or counseling? So we're putting it all on the table to try and figure out, with the resources that we have, how can we help this kid win. Before you go, please hit the subscribe button so you can see other videos. Hit the like button because this helps us get this to more people. And if you know someone that this can help, please consider sharing it. And that's it, gang. We'll see you next time. Peace.